Hit some anytime goal scorers as well as safe shots on goal for some of these goalies. Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Pocket with Jo. Good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Jo here at SportsGrid. It's time for Pocket with Jo over here on a SportsGrid TV on X. I hope everyone's Saturday morning has started off nicely. We've got a loaded slate out there on the ice. So let's jump straight into it. We're going to start off here with the matchup between the New York Rangers and the Washington Capitals. Now, all odds are over on FanDuel. So if you're looking for them, that's where you want to head on over to. We're seeing the Washington Capitals coming in as a favorite at home, minus 176 here on the money line. We're looking at the New York Rangers at plus 146, total of 6.5. Now, the 6.5 is juiced to the under at minus 130. If you want to take it over, it's coming in at plus 106. And you've got to worry that the Washington Capitals could push this one over that total themselves. So will the New York Rangers be able to help? I'm kind of worried about the New York Rangers putting their share of the goals on the board because you look at Logan Thompson coming in for the Caps, and he's been absolutely stellar between the pipes. He has a record of 5-2-2 with a 9.18 save percentage and a 2.30 goals against average. So we have seen so much success out of him. Jonathan Quick expected here for the New York Rangers. Now, the problem with Quick is when we look at him in his last matchup versus the Capitals, which was last season, he did allow 3 goals on 21 shots. So I do think the Capitals, with how high this team has been performing, they have the 4th most high danger shots in the league right now, averaging 11.84 high danger shots. With Quick having that performance last time versus them, I do expect the Capitals to be able to hit him. Highest scoring team in the league right now at 3.63 goals per game. So give me the Capitals team total. The Capitals team total coming in at 3.5. The over 3.5 up plus 108. Now, I do think they get the win here at home. They did win at the end of October versus the Rangers. That was a 5-3 win. This team is just so strong right now, sitting first in the Metro, 12-4-3 at home, 25-10-3 on the season. So I'm not stepping in their way. I would look at Ovi to continue to roll hot. Look at Ovechkin for the anytime goal as well. We're also seeing the Rangers allowing the 2nd most high danger shots. So we talk about the Capitals, 4th most high danger shots in the league. They're going to have more opportunities versus this Rangers team that 5-on-5, they're allowing the 4th most at 12.96. I expect those high danger shots to come flying in. Now, looking at the New York Rangers, they're on the first night of a back-to-back. They do have the Chicago Blackhawks tomorrow. They're going to be looking at this game, not that game tomorrow, you guys. So even though we're looking at the Capitals, just something to note there. The defense is just so strong of the Caps. I expect this to be a game where the Rangers struggle to score and the Capitals score at ease on Jonathan Quick. So that is where I'm going. Good morning to each and every one of you. I appreciate you guys being here today. So if you can hit that like, hit that retweet button, greatly appreciated. And like always, I will do the recap at the end of the show. So if you don't have time to hang out, make sure you do pop back for that recap. Now we're going to look at the New Jersey Devils versus the San Jose Sharks. Could the Sharks be sharking today? We've had the Ducks quacking. The Sharks are sharking. Maybe. Plus 310 here. The New Jersey Devils coming in at minus 400. $4 favorite here for them on the road. Total of 6.5. 6.5 juice to the under at minus 128 to the over at plus 104. I do think the Sharks can have some sort of success in this one. We have to look at what these goaltenders have been able to do. And Jacob Markstrom outstanding on the season. But when you look at Jacob Markstrom, expected here for the New Jersey Devils, facing the Sharks has not been a strong suit for him in his career. He's got an 898 save percentage versus the Sharks, goals against average of 3.13. Going 6-8-1 in 15 games. So I do think the Sharks are going to hit Jacob Markstrom. The thing is, the Devils have lost their last 3. This team is in a downward spiral right now, and they need to step up and they need to get things right. Against a Sharks team that we know the Sharks do struggle, you guys. They're not the Winnipeg Jets. They're not the Washington Capitals. So against a Sharks team, this could be a get-right game. here for the New Jersey Devils. And if they take the opportunity here and hit Georgiev strong, they could go over this total of 6.5 themselves. We know what the Devils bring to the table. Timo Meier, Jack Hughes, so many phenomenal playmakers on this team. This is a team that I think still can make a run for the Stanley Cup. So to step in front of them is a really hard situation. I don't want to lay the 1.5 though on the puck line. You're getting no value. -1.5 at -144. The alt puck line still even not enough value, laying 2.5 at +126. I want more value there, and their team total over 3.5 is -172. So really hard here to bet the Devils and find a way to make some plus money. You could look at the Devils to win in regulation and then take a playmaker for that anytime goal. That will give you a decent payout in that regards. But I think you look here at the Sharks. The Sharks over 2.5 goals with how Jacob Markstrom has played versus the Sharks and how the Devils have played as of late. They got shut out versus the LA Kings. They weren't even able to put a goal up on the board. I think the Sharks over 2.5 for their team total is definitely worth a look. You're getting that at +134. Would this be a big bet? No, this absolutely wouldn't be a big bet. But you look at Celebrini, you look at Tyler Toffoli, you look at Will Smith, you got playmakers that have been stepping up. This team going 7-12-1 at home. Yeah, not great record, sitting 8th in the Pacific here. Now, they did win the matchup back in November over the Devils. They got the 1-0 win. So it's not out of the question for them to be able to get things done. Now, if you do want to bet the New Jersey Devils, that puck line, like I said, laying 1.5 goals here at -144, it's out of range for me. I'm not getting enough value, but they've won their last 5 games by 2 goals. So when they've won by multiple goals covering that puck line. So there is a reason why you could like that one. I think here what we see in the first period is Jacob Markstrom allowing that 1 goal to come in and the Devils to be able to score as well. So where I'm going to go with the first period, and this is my favorite bet of this game. I'm going to look at the first period over 1.5 goals. It's -134. Yes, it's juicy, but I also will take both teams to score in the first period at +178. So that is what I'm liking best in this one. Let's look at the first period. Let's get in and out, and then we don't have to worry about what happens to Jacob Markstrom the rest of the game. So I would definitely be looking there. Good morning, Larry. Good morning to you as well. I hope everyone is having a wonderful start to their day. Celebrini, if you want to look at Celebrini, he has 4 goals and 4 assists on that power play. Something to take note of. Tyler Toffoli coming in here with 15 goals and 11 assists on the season. Granlund has been strong as well. Granlund, 11 goals, 22 assists going on the power play, 3 goals and 9 assists on that power play. So looking at the power play points here, for the San Jose Sharks, if they're able to get up nice and strong in this one, the power play is so elite here for the Devils. You guys, if you like the Devils, Georgiev, we know is weak and go. Look at the power play points here for the Devils for sure. Jack Hughes, Timo Meier. The defense is also 3rd in the NHL for goals against. So the defense knows how to lock down. They're going to be frustrated after getting shut out by the Kings. So the Devils, let's just get the Sharks 1 goal in the first period. The Devils, a goal. Let's cash both teams to score. That's where I want to go with this one. The Detroit Red Wings taking on the Winnipeg Jets. Now, interesting matchup here. The Red Wings coming in at +168. We have the Winnipeg Jets at -205. Total sitting at 5.5. Slight juice to the over 5.5 at -118. I expected Winnipeg to be a slighter, bigger favorite. So we're actually seeing money coming in on the Red Wings. This line last night was +180 for the Red Wings, now +168. Can they get the win here? I don't think so. You look at Alex Leon. I don't trust Alex Leon in net for the Red Wings. 7-5 on the season, 2.83 goals against average, and an .899 save percentage against a Winnipeg Jets team that is just firing on all cylinders with Connor Hellebuck expected tonight. Connor Hellebuck has been stellar between the pipes, 24-5-2 on the season with a 2.06 goals against average and a .927 save percentage. So we got the better goaltender here with the Winnipeg Jets. We got the edge on offense with the Winnipeg Jets. They've got the best power play in the league, and their blue line is superior here to the Red Wings. So it's an easy play for me on the Winnipeg Jets. I don't think there's any look ahead. This team has lost their last 2 games. They're going to want to bring everything they have to get back in the win column here tonight. They have the Predators on Tuesday and the Kings on Friday. So it's a Saturday game, you guys, and no reason why the Winnipeg Jets wouldn't be getting up for this game here at home. I will look for the Winnipeg Jets to cover the puck line for the full game, laying a goal and a half. Laying the goal and a half on FanDuel right now is coming in at plus 128. They've won their last 7 versus the Atlantic as a favorite, and in the last 5 of those, they've covered that puck line as well. So they're strong versus the Atlantic as a favorite, being able to cover that puck line. And I do think they do so again. Now, you can also look at the first period puck line, which I like as well, laying the half a goal in the first period here for the Winnipeg Jets versus Detroit. They've been able to do this in their last 4 meetings versus Detroit. So that's coming in at plus 140 is so much value. Kyle Connor, is leading this team. He's been absolutely stellar. He's coming in with 22 goals, 30 assists, total 52 points already on the season, you guys. You look at that power play, goals and assists for him, outstanding. 9 power play goals, 9 power play assists. So Kyle Connor for the power play point definitely will make my card today. Now, if you do think the Red Wings are going to put up their share of goals tonight, I don't know if they can here versus this defense of the Winnipeg Jets. But you'd look at Lucas Raymond. Lucas Raymond has been so strong. Lucas Raymond, 5 goals and 23 assists, 2 goals and 15 assists on that power play. So his power play ability is nice and strong as well. And then Dylan Larkin for the Red Wings, 14 goals, 17 assists on the year, 7 goals and 6 assists on that power play. Okay, let's turn over to the Boston Bruins. Let's get this freaking money today, you guys. Team total under for the Red Wings. I love the team total under. You're just going to have to lay a little bit of juice on the under for them, coming in at 2.5. So a little bit of juice to that under. The Boston Bruins are taking on the Toronto Maple Leafs. This should be a great matchup. Joseph Woll expected here for Toronto, and he'll face them for the first time since they matched up in the playoffs. So we'll see what he can bring versus the Bruins. Now, Swayman expected here for the Boston Bruins. The Leafs did win the last matchup in November 4-0. They got the shutout win over the Bruins. The Bruins have been strong versus the Atlantic, though, winning their last 4. I think this is a tight game. I think this is a game that can go to overtime, you guys. I'm looking at the overtime bet. Let me just pull that up. Plus 290. For this one to go to overtime. We talked about those plus 310s. Those were cashing for the longest time. They've now dropped that overtime bet for this game to plus 290, the books, not wanting to give you very much value. Remember, we were getting plus 380s at the start of the year. So huge opportunity for this one to go to overtime. Yeah, I think the Winnipeg Jets do win. 5-3 style game. The Red Wings should get 2 or 3 goals. There could be a case where they get 3. So will be interesting if you like that score. I'd bet the exact score if you got a good feeling about that. Okay, so plus 290 here for the Bruins and the Leafs to go to OT. This is the first night of a back-to-back here for the Leafs. Flyers tomorrow, and then Flyers at Philadelphia on Tuesday. So they've got a team that they're facing home and then road back-to-back. And this is the last game of a 3-game road trip here for the Boston Bruins. First night of a back-to-back. They're at home tomorrow versus the Isles. You know this rivalry here with Toronto is what they're looking at in this game. They definitely want to get the win. Now, I think it goes to overtime at plus 290, like I said, but I think the Bruins can win in OT. I think this is a 3-2 style win for the Bruins. And it's because of Pastrnak and what Pastrnak has been able to do for the Bruins versus the Leafs. Pastrnak has 20 goals in 30 games versus Leafs. I will be looking at him for the anytime goal tonight. Now, if you want to look at Brad Marchand, I would look at him for his shots on goal. Over the last 3 or 4 games, I believe last 3 games, he's been able to clear 3 or more shots in all of those games. So looking at Brad to come out 3+ shots on goal, you're not going to get very much value there, but I do think he hits on that one. Now, if you're looking for a scorer here for Toronto, there's no denying how hot Bobby McMahon has been out there on the ice. He's been able to get the only goals in the last couple games out there for the Leafs. So that is where I would look. Again, tight battle here, 1-goal game for the Bruins in OT. So let's make some fucking money, Mo. That is for sure. Tavares absolutely owes us that anytime goal. You are so right. Like, Tavares, get on the freaking board. That is for sure in tonight's game. Let's look at the Minnesota Wild versus the Carolina Hurricanes. Interesting matchup here. So with the Carolina Hurricanes, fantastic at home. We know what they've been able to do. Home record is outstanding versus the Minnesota Wild team, whose edge has been road ice. This team is knocking it out of the park at on the road. They're coming in at plus 184, minus 225 for the Canes, total 5.5. Firstly, the juice is coming to the over 5.5 at minus 124. I can't get there. I do think this is a lower scoring game. Plus 102 to the under. We look at the goaltending, and I do think this is a goaltending duel. And which goaltender do I trust more? It's Gustafsson here. I think Gustafsson is the stronger goaltender between these two, and we know Carolina locks down on the defensive side. They will give Trocheckov all the support that he needs. Their power play is stronger here. The Carolina Hurricanes at 25%. Their kill is the best. They've got a kill that's 85.5%. Limited penalty minutes as well at 7.2. Minnesota has to play a clean game. Now, Kaprizov's still out of this lineup, but I still think so much value here on the Minnesota Wild. Looking at that line, plus 184 for the Wild, I'm going to bite. And you guys know I bet on Vancouver yesterday because, like I told you during the show, if Vancouver got up to like a plus 160 underdog, that's where the value had to lie. I had to play the best of the number, and it lost. It did. We saw the Preds come out, get a dominating shutout win in that game. But I have to play the best of the number here in this one with the Minnesota Wild. The Wild are sitting second in the Central. Like I said, road record so strong, 14-3-3 on the road. Yes, Carolina, third in the Metro, 14-4 at home this season. But if the Wild can play a clean game, I think this could be a letdown spot here for Carolina. They're coming off that big win versus the reigning Stanley Cup champs in the Florida Panthers. They were able to get the 3-1 win on Thursday. It's the first night of a back-to-back. They will face the Penguins tomorrow. I think they win tomorrow, lose today. I'm going to look at this one to go to overtime, though. I think the Wild win this in OT. Another overtime bet and an under bet here. I think this is 2-2 going to overtime, plus 340 for the overtime bet. The puck line here for the Wild, if the Wild go down first and Carolina strikes first, I will be coming back in on the Wild plus 1.5 on that puck line. Right now, the puck line is minus 144, so I don't love it, but I think it's worth a sprinkle on the Wild on the money line going in. Hopes that Carolina scores first and then coming back in on that puck line plus 1.5. Because again, I think it's an overtime bet. Instead of taking that puck line straight out of the gate, I will look at the overtime straight out of the gate at plus 340. And I think this stays under the 5.5. We can definitely build one today, Mo. We will build one at the end of the show. Let's look at Montreal. Montreal versus Colorado. Could Montreal pull off another upset? Well, we know they lost last night to the Chicago Blackhawks. Connor Bedard only got an assist. I was so disappointed in him not really stepping up in that game, and only assist when I had him for 2 points really hurt. So looking now at Montreal off a loss to the Blackhawks after rolling so hot. They got a win over the Panthers, the Lightning, and Vegas. Coming up so nice and strong. Last game here on the road, second night of a back-to-back. A hard situation for this team versus the Colorado Avalanche team, which we know is so strong. So the books are giving Colorado the respect they deserve. They're coming in at minus 330, plus 260 here for the Montreal Canadiens. Total 6.5. Now the 6.5 actually juiced to the over at minus 114. We're going to look at the goaltending, and we're going to look at what we've seen out of these goalies. And then I'm going to take it to the under, you guys. Minus 106 to the under, which is terrifying for a Colorado game, especially versus Montreal in second night back-to-back. But I look at Sam Montague and what he's been able to do in net. And didn't Sam Montague play last night? Let me just double-check expected goaltending here, because I thought we saw Sam play last night. I'm still seeing him as the expected on my computer here, but just let me check my phone. Still showing that he is expected. Let me double-check. He played last night, right? Did he play? Yeah, he played last night. So Sam Montague on a second night of back-to-back Hard situation here. We'll see if we do actually see him between the pipes. This is going to come down to if we do see him between the pipes, because he has been strong versus Colorado. He's had 2 games against them. 1 game he came in relief. He's got a 188 save percentage and a 935 1.88 goals against average and a 935 save percentage. If I can get the words out on this Saturday morning. So he has been strong versus Colorado. Colorado's won their last 6. We know these teams go on these hot streaks and they lose to the most unexpected team out there. They're off the win, and it was a comeback win versus the Buffalo Sabres, where they had to dig so deep getting that 6-5 win. With how Montreal has been playing out there, I don't think we got their best effort out of them versus Chicago. And remember, this was a Chicago team that just fell apart in the Winter Classic. They were completely embarrassed on the huge stage out there, and they had every motivation to really bounce back last night, where Montreal had been rolling so hot. So they've lost. They lost last night 4-2. I think we can see some goals out of them, but this game's staying to the under. Mackenzie Blackwood has been so strong, we know, all season. He's been great for Colorado since coming over. When we look at him versus the Montreal Canadiens, he does have a 2.54 goals against average and a save percentage of 928. I believe both of these goaltenders will have strong days here. The Panthers are on deck again here for Colorado. So Colorado look-ahead situation here for that Monday game versus the Florida Panthers. You know, when any team has to play the Florida Panthers in their next game out, really it is a look-ahead spot for them. This is the last game of 6 on the road for Montreal. They are 7-0 on the puck line in their last 7 as a dog as well, but they have completely struggled against Colorado. So if you guys don't want to touch this game, I don't blame you at all. I do think Montreal plus the 1.5 at plus 104 is worth a shot. I like the under better, under 6.5 at minus 106. The under between these two teams has hit in the last 8 meetings, and the under is also 10-1-1 in the last 12 in Colorado. I need another Cup of Joe. Cup of Joe play will be coming out soon. We're going to look at Victor Wembanyama. It is his birthday, you guys. Triple-double. I am feeling the triple-double today. He's been able to do it once. He's got to do it with his blocks, not his assists. That is for sure. Points, blocks, and not assists, rebounds. Okay, the St. Louis Blues is the next one. Sorry, I started thinking basketball and then trying to find my lines here. The St. Louis Blues taking on the Columbus Blue Jackets. We have the St. Louis Blues second night of back-to-back, having a phenomenal game last night. They're coming in at minus 120 here on the road, plus 100 for the Columbus Blue Jackets, total of 5.5, minus 132 to the over, minus or plus 108 to the under 5.5. I do think with Joe Hofer in net tonight, we're going to see Columbus put some goals on him. He's faced the Columbus Blue Jackets once. He's allowed 4 goals on 21 shots in that meeting with Columbus. And I look at Columbus, they do have the rest advantage. Nice price on the home dog. Now, with the St. Louis Blues getting the win last night and completely crushing the Senators, which I didn't expect. They got a 4-0 win. Their defense locked down. Jordan Binghamton looked stellar, and offensively, this team just really came to play last night. But second night back-to-back, this team does have some illnesses, some players out. I think tired legs will come into play. Now, Elvis needs to stand tall between the pipes because Elvis hasn't been the goaltender I would have hoped this season. And while he's had some stellar games, there's been some other games where he just hasn't played his best hockey. So looking at him, he's got an 888 save percentage, and versus the Blues in his career, it's even worse, 883. So we're going to need the best out of Elvis in this matchup tonight. I do think you would lean to the over in this game because Columbus will be able to score. We saw the offense really playing strong last night for the St. Louis Blues. Now, the over again is the 5.5 at minus 132. This was a 6.5 earlier in the day. I got the over 6.5 at plus 104. With this moving to a 5.5 at minus 132, I'm not worried. I think the market's moving in the wrong direction. People coming in thinking the St. Louis Blues will be able to do what they did last night to the Senators versus Columbus, and I don't think so. I think Columbus does have the upper hand in this one. So ulting it to 6.5, you're going to get even better plus money than I got earlier in the day. Columbus Blue Jackets team total sitting at 3.5. To the over is plus 124. And then looking at Columbus here on the money line. Now the Columbus Blue Jackets were minus 120 on the money line earlier as well. We're now getting them at plus 100. I still think they have the ability to get this win, even though the books have moved these lines with money coming in on the St. Louis Blues. Now, Monahan, I will look for that anytime goal for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Remember, this team is sitting 12-5-3 at home on the season. They've had that strength at home. Yes, the St. Louis Blues have been strong out there on the road, but they've lost their last 5 games as a dog on the second night of back-to-back. Yes, they're not the dog anymore as money's coming in on them after they got that win, but I still do think they should be the dog in this situation. These two teams have trended to the over. This could be a 3-3 game going into OT, so sweating out that over just a little bit, but I do think it comes into play. The overtime bet in this one, that's coming in at plus 310. The over 6.5 at plus 104. The last 6 meetings, we've seen 5 of those go over, and in Columbus, that over record 16-6-4. So give me the over 6.5, high scoring game in this one. You got to keep running it back with Fowler for that anytime goal. Absolutely. He's looking for goal number 100. So best way to go with this one. Yeah, you got to bet Wemmy on his birthday. Absolutely. And then best power play, it's Kyle Connor. Kyle Connor being absolutely fantastic out there on the power play. No other way we can go. Both teams to score in the first period. Kelly, you read my mind. I do think this will be a nice high-scoring first period. Both of these teams coming out with something to prove. And I'm glad you love that over because I absolutely love the over. I can't believe we're getting plus money to it today. Okay, Utah versus Dallas. The Utah Hockey Club rolling in here at plus 152 on the money line. On the road, the Dallas Stars at minus 184. Total sitting at 6.5. Juice to the under at minus 120 on FanDuel. Now, if you want to take the Dallas Stars laying the 1.5, it's coming in at plus 136. I do think they win and cover this puck line. But what I kind of like more is looking at Utah here for their team total under. I'm just going to take Utah's team total under 2.5. It's coming in at plus 106. In case the Dallas Stars they get up 3-2 and then lock down. Don't look to get that empty netter at the end of this game. I think Utah, I really can't see them putting up more than 2 goals on Jake Ottinger in this game. Jake Ottinger has been fantastic. He's 18-9-1 on the season with a 2.37 goals against average and a save percentage of .908. He's also, when he's at home, even better record. He's got a .915 save percentage, a 2.14 goals against average. So Jake Ottinger hasn't been allowing those goals to come in. We already saw the Stars win 3-2 in December, and I think it's a very similar game out here. Vejmelka expected for Utah. Now, Vejmelka has been strong out there for Utah. He's got a .915 save percentage. So I could see this one staying under that total 3-2 win here for the Dallas Stars, or they get that empty netter and win at 4-2. So I don't want to play around with that puck line. Just give me Utah's team total under the 2.5. We're getting great plus money. This team actually has been solid on the road, 12-8-2 on the road this season, but we look here at the Dallas Stars. There's no way I'm stepping in front of them at home. Their kill is so elite. Second best kill in the league, holding opponents off the board 85.3% of the time. And they really limit their penalty minutes, only taking 7 penalty minutes per game. Their power play isn't strong, but they've got a strong face-off here. And I don't think they have to worry about scoring on that power play. This team has the ability to score on the 5-and-5. Now, if you're looking for a playmaker who's really been stepping up as of late, we haven't talked about him much this season. It is Jason Robinson. Jason Robinson has been playing great hockey out there, and I do think the Stars get the win, limit the Utah Hockey Club, and Jason Robinson gets on the board. Now, when we look at the Utah Hockey Club, we all know they were the Arizona Coyotes, and someone went to me the other day, where did Utah come from? A non-hockey fan that was just sitting down watching a game with me, and I was like, they were Arizona. And they're like, Arizona's still not in the league, but they kind of are. And when we look at the Stars, how they've played against Arizona, because that's where this team was last year, they dominated, right? So they had always played them strong. These teams have already matched up twice. And like I said, that last game was a 3-2 win for the Stars, but they won that game prior as well. So I'm looking for them to continue getting these wins here. versus the Utah Hockey Club. That was AKA the Arizona Coyotes. The New York Rangers 1-0. Wow. That's gone up fast for the New York Rangers. The Washington Capitals now coming in at plus 116 on that money line. I tell you, sign me up all day. So thanks, King Irish, for pointing that out, that game has already seen one goal out of the New York Rangers. I just can't see them getting the win. You guys, we've got 4 more games to fly through here. Then we will do that recap. The Tampa Bay Lightning taking on the LA Kings. Let me just find those lines. LA Kings are a minus 130 favorite here at home, and rightly so. I love what we've seen out of the LA Kings. Plus 108 for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Now, the Kings will have to lock them down. The offense here for the Tampa Bay Lightning, we know how strong they've been clicking. We got a total of 5.5. Minus 124 to the over, and you're going to get minus 104 to the under. These two teams, when they match up, actually do trend to that over. We got an elite offense here for Tampa, like I said. Their power play, 3rd best overall in the league. So the Kings have to stay out of the box. Their kill is strong, though, and they really limit their opponent's ability to get these shots on goal. They're only allowing an average of 24.8 shots on goal per game. This game is going to come down to goaltending. I think if Darcy Kuemper can stand on his head in this game, he's coming off that shutout win on New Year's Day over the New Jersey Devils. Remember, the Kings were a home dog in that one. They got a 3-0 win there. Darcy Kuemper stopped, I believe it was 34 shots on net. If he can play like he did in that one, especially when we've seen him have success in his career versus the Tampa Bay Lightning, I think the Kings have this all day. And yes, it's juicy at minus 130, but this team is sitting 13-2-1 at home this season. I definitely think it's a strong way to go. Now, Tampa has won this matchup 8 of the last 10, so they've also gone 5-2 in the last 7 meetings in LA. So this has been a team they've been able to beat. They've been able to get those wins over. I'm just not buying into it today here versus this Kings team. I think the Kings are the right side. You could look at their team total over 3.5, but Andrei Vasilevskiy has been playing strong as well. So I'm just going to look at the Kings straight up on the money line. Kings on the money line. I am glad you're rolling with me. Kings are hot, won something like 8 straight home wins. Yeah, they've won 8 straight at home, Kelly. They have been so strong here. I'm not stepping in front of this team, especially against a Tampa Bay Lightning team that we know has gone up in some of these games and then fallen flat. So if the Lightning go up in this first period, you guys come back in on the LA Kings. We're going to get better value here if the Lightning strike first. And I'm hoping for it. I'm going to hit the Kings going into this game at minus 130. I'm hoping to come back in on them with that plus money because this team never gives up. Now let's look at the Nashville Predators. Interesting line with the Preds here versus my Calgary Flames. Dustin Wolf expected tonight. We're seeing money come in for Calgary because these lines have moved. Calgary now minus 106, minus 113 here for the Predators. A road favorite after winning last night over the Vancouver Canucks, getting the shutout win, but they've had to travel from Vancouver out to Calgary. Hard situation to be in. Got the time change there as well. Total 5.5 at minus 134. Now, I do lean to the under in this one because of Dustin Wolf. Dustin Wolf's been so strong for Calgary. We wanted to play him in that last game versus Utah, but Dustin Wolf didn't make the cut. They put Dan Vladar in. I wanted Dustin Wolf, but now we get him tonight. So Dustin Wolf coming in here 12-5-2 on the season with a 2.61 goals against average and a 914 save percentage. He is fire at home, you guys. We got a backup goaltending here. Goaltender coming in for the Nashville Predators, and I just don't trust him between the pipes. I think Calgary will be able to hit him, but I think the Predators struggle to score on Dustin Wolf. So give me the Calgary Flames. You were getting them at plus 105 earlier, now minus 106. So we have seen that shift. I'm not worried. I will lay the juice here again with Calgary. We saw Calgary all the way up to a minus 130. So we saw them as a bigger favorite before the Preds played last night. And then with what the Preds did last night, it moved Calgary to plus 106 and now plus 105 and now minus 106. So lots of fluctuation in this line that I have seen. Maybe you guys were like tuning into it at 2 a.m. in the morning and saw a different spot. That's the lines that I have seen during the day, and I still love Calgary here Now, Calgary did win the last matchup 4-3. They've also won 8 of their last 9 games as a home favorite. I love their ability to come out strong. Their power play is only 20.8%, but we're seeing a power play here that's weaker for the Predators at 18.3. They have a very strong kill, though, so Calgary won't have that much of advantage on that power play. Their kill is 84.3, and they have to stay out of the box, because if Calgary gets in the box, Dustin Wolf is in for a heck of a time, because the kill here for Calgary is not strong. Their kill hitting right around 71%. So they need to play smart hockey out here and can't allow the Predators to get under their skin. The Predators have also been strong in Calgary, you guys. Lots of things against Calgary here. They won 7 of the last 10 meetings, but I do think I'm going to look at the Predators team total with Dustin Wolf in net. I'm expecting him to stand so freaking tall between the pipes. Predators team total under 2.5 at plus 136. You could look at Calgary's team total over 3.5, but I don't love it here because you're not getting the value that I would want. Okay, let's look. Kempe Kopitar. Yeah, you've got to look at Kempe Kopitar. It seems like an automatic for that Kings game. Looking at Kempe and Kopitar, parlaying them together for the point, it gets you plus money. Yeah, the LA Kings game to be on the ice, that would be absolutely incredible. Sitting right on that, the seats by the ice. I can't think today, you guys. Need more coffee. Okay, let's look at the Edmonton Oilers. They're taking on the Seattle Kraken. Edmonton on the second night of a back-to-back. They played in a lower scoring game versus the Ducks last night. I expected them to open up a lot more, help us push over that total, but they only won that one 3-2. Now they get out here on the road to face a Pacific opponent in the Seattle Kraken, who've been playing better as of late. The Kraken coming in at plus 160 underdogs at home, almost a $2 favorite at minus 194 here for the Oilers. Total 6.5, minus 115 to the under. Special teams has been playing better on both sides of the puck here for the Seattle Kraken. Their defense in the last 3 home games has allowed 9 goals. So average right on 3 goals per game. Can they play a lockdown style game here with Edmonton and really shut them down? I think Edmonton will look to play a lockdown defensive game as well. We saw that last night versus the Ducks. And I do think with the Battle of the Pacific, we will see that in this one. There's so much value on the home dog here with the Seattle Kraken. I don't like Edmonton. I want to find a way always to bet against them. This is the first game of a road trip here. 4-game road trip. The Bruins on deck on Tuesday. After playing the Ducks last night, they got the win. Second night of a back-to-back, though. I just don't love this spot for Edmonton. These teams have trended to the over, but I'm looking at Joey Decord to be nice and tall between the pipes. And we got Connor Pickard in net here for the Edmonton Oilers. I'm going to look at Seattle. I like the value on them here. If Edmonton goes up, and this is something we always see, Edmonton's so strong in that first period. They were able to get a goal in every period of last night's game. So they came out, got the 1-0 win in the first period over the Ducks. If you then looked at the Ducks plus the 1.5 on that puck line, you're getting extreme value. If Edmonton is able to go up here in that first period, I'm going to be coming back in on Utah plus the 1.5. Right now, plus the 1.5 for the Seattle Krakens minus 158. So you guys know I can't touch that. I'll sprinkle a little bit on that money line and then wait for Edmonton to go up, because they do. If this team loses, they blow leads. They go up in that first period. So definitely a live betting opportunity in this game here. Looking at the Buffalo Sabres next versus the Vegas Golden Knights, you guys. We'll finish off these games and then get to the recap. This is our last game to go over, which I know everyone is glad to hear. So total 6.5 between the Sabres and Vegas. The 6.5 minus 112 to the over, minus 108 to the under. So not much difference there. Vegas coming in almost a $2 favorite at home in the Fortress. Rightly so. We know how this team has been playing. Minus 192 at home. That puck line laying 1.5 goals at plus 126. And the Buffalo Sabres coming in at plus 158. Okay, Vegas in the first period has come out and had some freaking slow starts. Okay, the Kings are a team I like in the first period. Vegas is a team I don't. The Buffalo Sabres are a team I like in the first period as well. Buffalo gives it their all in that first period, and then they fall apart. And it's almost like the Vegas Golden Knights come out on cruise control in some of these games in the first period. And yes, they've been able to win some of these first periods, had a lot of puck luck, but I think this one, the Buffalo Sabres, we know that long losing streak that they had. They won what? Game number 13. They won a couple, then they started losing again. So they've lost their last two. Thursday's loss was a 6-5 win in OT. And that was a game where they went up. And then the Avs came back and with like seconds left on the board, tied it up, pushed it to overtime, and the Avs got the win. So Buffalo is never safe in these games. I really do think what we're going to see here is the Buffalo Sabres go up in the first period as Vegas does play a little bit of cruise control coming out here, facing a team that they know they're superior to. They're off the win versus the Flyers 5-2 in their last game out, and they've got the Sharks. They've got a road trip on deck coming in on Tuesday. But again, this team dominant at home. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the Sabres first period on the money line at plus 134. Hope they get up in this one. And as soon as they do, I'm coming back in on Vegas when I'm going to get a better value, a better line here on Vegas. Now, will we get plus money? No, we probably won't. But looking at Vegas at that point, I'm hoping we get a minus 140 if Buffalo goes up 1-0. I don't know if we'll get there. I don't know if the books will put it that low. We know the books don't like to take a lot of risk here. But I'll also look at Buffalo. If Vegas goes up 1-2-0, Buffalo never says die, never gives up. Well, they might not get the win. Plus 1.5 on the puck line at that point, we're going to get more value. So another live betting situation here with this game. We know Tage Thompson has been playing phenomenally strong for them out there, and I do think he comes to life. Now, when we look at the Sabres versus Vegas, the Sabres have actually played Vegas really strong. So if you want to look at that plus money, on the money line, we know Vegas fell to Montreal. What's saying that they can't fall to the Sabres here? So the money line could be in play. 4-1 in the last 5 meetings here for the Buffalo Sabres. I don't think I'm brave enough to get there, you guys. Just give me the money line in the first period. Okay, let's get going with this recap here. Happy Saturday to you too. So let's do the recap, you guys. We'll then build a same game, not a same game parlay. We'll build a parlay. Okay. What's happening with the Rangers? And okay, Capitals. I still can't believe the Capitals are down. The Rangers up 1-0 right now. The Capitals at plus 116 on that money line. I wish I had the game on, you guys. I'm not really seeing what's happening to the Capitals out here, but I do think they can get the win today. So if you want to jump back in on the Capitals, we were laying juice. We had to lay the puck line going into this game. We got 7 minutes left for the Capitals to score 2 goals and cash me the first period puck line. They better not let me down. We got 7 minutes, you guys. 2 goals, 7 minutes. Let's go. If you didn't bet that already, I wouldn't jump in. It's not good. Okay. Looking at the next game, the New Jersey Devils kicks off at 4:10 Eastern here. So the New Jersey Devils taking on the San Jose Sharks. I do think the Sharks have the ability to get on the board in that first period. Jacob Markstrom doesn't have great numbers versus the Sharks. I'll take both teams to score in the first period. The Devils are going to come out so hungry after losing their last 3. Both teams to score in the first period at plus 178. The over 1.5, if you just think it's going to be the Devils scoring, which it could be, is coming in at minus 134. I'd make a play on both. I think the Sharks have the ability, with how Jacob Markstrom has played versus them in his career, to put up over 2.5 goals. You're going to get plus money at plus 134. I do ultimately think the Devils win. This is just no real good value here on the Devils on that puck line. Even the alt puck line is not giving me enough value to hit on them. The Detroit Red Wings and the Winnipeg Jets. I like the Winnipeg Jets first period on that puck line at plus 140. They have won the last 4 first periods versus Detroit. I also like the Winnipeg Jets on the puck line for the full game, laying 1.5 goals. That's coming in at plus 128. As a favorite at home, they have won their last 7 games versus the Atlantic and covered the puck line in the last 5 of those. So I think it's a really good opportunity for the Winnipeg Jets to have a big win over the Detroit Red Wings. And again, Kyle Connor is who I'd be looking at for the power play points. The Red Wings, if they do score, their power play has been strong as well. Lucas Raymond and Dylan Larkin, definitely your playmakers. And then for the Jets, like I said, Kyle Connor, but Mark Scheifele as well. The Boston Bruins versus the Toronto Maple Leafs. I think the Bruins win this 3-2 style game in OT. I'll take this one to go to overtime. We're not getting the value I want, but plus 290 Still a good day at the office if this one does cash, you guys. I'm going to look at Pasternak for the anytime goal for the Boston Bruins. Pasternak has 20 goals on 30 games versus the Leafs in his career. If you're looking for the playmaker for the Leafs, Bobby McMann has been very strong out there for Toronto, scoring their goals in their last 2 games. Brad Marchand here for the Bruins. He's been able to get those shots on goal, 3+ shots on goal today. You could look at as well. Now, the Minnesota Wild taking on the Carolina Hurricanes. Again, a game that I think can go to overtime. The overtime bet here coming in at plus 340. Probably my favorite bet of this whole game. The puck line here for the Wild, not the value I want, but plus 1.5. I do think it cashes. That's coming in at minus 144. I'm so tempted with the Wild on the money line here. I'll get to the window if I'm talking about it, you guys. I think they have the better goaltending here with Gustafsson, and I know Kaprizov out of this lineup. If they're to win this has to be a lower scoring game. They can't get into a shootout battle here with the Carolina Hurricanes because this offense is so strong on the power play. They have a great kill. So if they allow those goals to come in, Gustafsson is the key. So the Wild, Gustafsson, strong day, overtime game here, and the under. Montreal versus Colorado. This is a game I don't absolutely love, you guys. We know Montreal has been playing so strong. They got huge wins over the Florida Panthers, the Tampa Bay Lightning, the Vegas Golden Knights, and lost to the Chicago Blackhawks last night. Sam Montague still listed as expected, but he played last night. So Colorado, Mackenzie Blackwood has been playing strong. I still think with Montreal, how they've been playing, how they've been covering that puck line, plus 1.5 on the puck line at plus 104 is worth a look, and the under 6.5, because I do think we have a goaltending battle. Strong trends to the under between these two teams when they meet up, with the under cashing in 8 of the last 10. Just not my favorite game out here. We know there's playmakers up and down the board for Colorado, and this team is so strong on that power play. Montreal is going to have to play a really clean game if they want to be able to pull off another upset. The St. Louis Blues and the Columbus Blue Jackets, both teams to score in the first period. The over 6.5. I can't believe we're getting plus money to the over 6.5 in this one. Columbus's team total over 3.5 at plus 124. Definitely worth a look in this matchup. And Columbus to come out and get the straight up win. Second night of a back-to-back for the St. Louis Blues hasn't been the strong suit. As a dog, they have lost their last 5 in this situation. They are now the favorite as lines have shifted. I still don't believe that they can get the win. Looking at Monahan here for the Columbus Blue Jackets and how strong this team has been at home, I think Columbus, higher scoring game, can pull it off. This game has every opportunity of going to overtime as well. The Utah Hockey Club and the Dallas Stars. Dallas dominated Utah when they were the Arizona Coyotes. They've also won the first 2 meetings, but those 2 meetings were this season 1-goal games. That last one being a 3-2 win by the Dallas Stars. I expect the same. So I'm very cautious here with the Dallas Stars on the puck line. There's no value. Otherwise, I like the team total of Utah. I think no matter what happens, Utah struggles to score on Jake Ottinger. Utah's team total sitting at 2.5 to the under at plus 106, I think is the best bet. If you're looking for a goal scorer here for the Dallas Stars, Jason Robinson is where I would go. The Tampa Bay Lightning and the LA Kings, I love the value here. Well, I don't love the value. I love the Kings. I love the Kings at home and what they've been able to bring to the table. You guys are right. They have won their last 8 games at home. This team has been able to lock down on defense, allowing only 24.8 shots on goal per game. Their kill is outstanding as well. They will slow down this offense here at the Tampa Bay Lightning. So give me the Kings to get the win. If you want to take them in regulation, I don't hate that. I really don't see this one going to overtime. We've seen strong trends between these two teams to the over, and we've seen strong trends for Tampa being able to get the win with how this Kings team is playing. They're coming in on 2 days rest. They're 5-1 in their last 6 games on 2 days rest, and they're at home. This team's sitting 13-2-1 at home, winning their last 8 home games straight. There's no way I'm stepping in front of them. The Nashville Predators taking on the Calgary Flames. Lines have shifted in this one with Dustin Wolf in net tonight. Give me the Calgary Flames. The books have adjusted since the Predators got the shutout win last night versus the Vancouver Canucks. I do not believe this team can come in on the second night of a back-to-back and hit Dustin Wolf strong. I'm going to take the Predators team total under 2.5. That's coming in at plus 136. I think Calgary at the price you're getting now, definitely worth a look here on the money line. They were able to win in a higher scoring game on the road in Nashville, breaking that like long losing road streak. That was a 4-3 win with last change here. Calgary with Dustin will get the win in this one. The Edmonton Oilers and the Seattle Kraken. Give me the upset, please, Seattle. Come on, Seattle. I love that plus money we're getting on them. Jared McCann, I think, can get on the goal, get on the board with that goal. Special teams has been stepping up for Seattle. So I'm going to take a chance. We've got Connor Pickard in net tonight for Edmonton. Edmonton on the second night of a back-to-back with the Boston Bruins on deck. They've won the last 6 meetings, though, versus the Kraken. So this is a long shot bet here with Seattle. I love the price here at home. Again, Edmonton loves to go up in the first period, second period, even in teams fight back versus them. So if we're getting great value on the Seattle Kraken plus 1.5 on that puck line at any point during that game, that's where I'll be coming in. And when I mean great plus money, I would want them at plus like 130, plus 140 on that puck line, which they're not right now. The Buffalo Sabres and the Vegas Golden Knights, you guys, I think we see almost Vegas come out on like slow mode in that first period in some of these games. Buffalo, though, comes out just completely fighting. They're flying out there on the ice. I think Vegas will overlook Buffalo. We know how much Buffalo has struggled on the season. Vegas has won their last 6 games by multiple goals. Can I still see that happening? Yes, but I'm going to take Buffalo in the first period on the money line. That's coming in at plus 134. The Sabres plus 1.5 on that puck line is coming in at minus 154, unbettable range. So if Vegas ends up going up first, I will be coming back in on the Buffalo Sabres. I know that Vegas has been able to win by multiple goals, but I think Buffalo will be fighting like crazy. They're off that game that they blew versus the Colorado Avalanche that they had to push to OT. We've also seen, don't forget, Vegas fall to Montreal just over a week ago. So I do think it could be a game where Vegas might get it. You're going to bank it. Vegas on that puck line laying 1.5. I don't hate it because I do like Buffalo best on the money line in the first period. Okay, let's build a long shot a parlay here. The Capitals have 2 minutes left to get goals on the board, which they do not seem to be doing. So that is not what I wanted to see out there. I'm going to look at this long shot point parlay here. We're going to put Pasternak in first. Now he's juicy out here, so you have to look at parlaying it. It's not worth it. Otherwise, he's 2-1 to your money. For his point tonight for the Boston Bruins. So I will look there. When I look at Colorado and Montreal, I definitely can see that one going under. So I want to stay off that. Looking at the Winnipeg Jets in the Detroit game, I will put the point up there for Kyle Connor. He's coming in at minus 310. Kyle Connor for 2+ points today, you guys, I think really has the opportunity to hit. So I'm going to take him for the 2+ points. Looking at the Wild and the Canes, again, I think that's going to be a super low scoring. We can look at the St. Louis Blues and Columbus Blue Jackets, though, because I do think this will be a higher scoring game. I'm going to throw Jordan Kyrou in there for the Blues and Monahan in for the Columbus Blue Jackets. That's where I'll go with that one. The Dallas Stars Utah Hockey Club, again, a lower scoring. The LA Kings, you know I love looking at Kempe and Kopitar. Nikita Kucherov, so much juice on his point, minus 440. Looking at Kempe, minus 180. I'll put Kempe in minus 140 for Kopitar, though. If you want to look at parlaying the two of them together again, you're going to get plus money, and that's where I love to go. I'm going to stay off the Oilers and the No, let's put the Kraken. Let's put Jared McCann. I do think Jared McCann will come in nice and strong for the Seattle Kraken. I will recap these at the end as well, you guys. The Nashville Predators versus the Calgary Flames. I'm really looking for the Preds to stay lower scoring. Calgary could play that lower scoring game, so I'm going to stay off of that one as well. So we have a same game parlay here. Let's just see which playmakers we have in this. It's not giving me the odds here. Just 1 second. I must have something else put into this. Okay, so they want to give me... I don't want to do a same game parlay. Okay, so these are the playmakers. I'll try to work out the odds in just a minute. So I'm going to take from the St. Louis Blues and Columbus Blue Jackets. St. Louis, I'm going to take Jordan Kyrou for the anytime point, and then Monahan for the Columbus Blue Jackets for the anytime point. If you want to parlay those two together, instead of doing like a long shot parlay of the day, parlaying those two guys together is coming in at plus 167. But I'm going to build just a long shot parlay here. So I'm going to then look at Pasternak of the Bruins for the point. I'm going to look at Kyle Connor of the Winnipeg Jets for the point, Kempe of the LA Kings for the point, Jared McCann of the Edmonton Oilers for the point. Let me just see if for some, we can do a 5-leg parlay. FanDuel is not allowing me to put 2 players in from the Columbus and St. Louis Blues game. So I eliminated right away. Who did I take out? I took out St. Louis. So I've got Monahan still here. So what I'm going to do, 5-leg parlay, $10 plays 172. So plus 1726 on this parlay, 5 legs. One more time just to recap. Pasternak for the point for the Bruins, Kyle Connor for the point for the Winnipeg Jets, Monahan for the point for the Columbus Blue Jackets, Kempe for the point for the Kings, and Jared McCann for the point for the Seattle Kraken. Fade or follow, you guys. Let me know which leg of this parlay is going to do us a dirty. If it's any leg, Jared McCann. So if you take Jared McCann out of there, you're coming in still at $10, returning $87. So plus 877, still a good day if you take him out of there. New Jersey should win. New Jersey absolutely should freaking win this one. But I think the Sharks play them hard. You guys, all the best in all of your bets. I've got to get my cup of Joe going here again. Victor Wembanyama, look at him. For the triple-double is going to be hard. You can just take him for the double-double. I do think he can get the blocks, the rebounds, and the points on the board today. It is his birthday, you guys. So definitely where you want to look in the NBA, playing the Nuggets again. They played the Nuggets last night. So I do think Victor Wembanyama on his birthday comes out nice and strong and is able to get the win. But that will be part of my Cup of Joe. I will have a couple other plays in there as well. So make sure you check that out. Also, head on over to the SportsGrid app. The Madden Quickie is posted between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. So make sure you go on over and get that. And then Scott Wetzel and myself are live on the grid, 4 o'clock Eastern. So come on over, check it out. We'll be live betting all of the games today. King Henry's birthday today as well. Nice. I absolutely love that. You got to look at those players on their birthdays to come out nice and strong. That is for sure. But you guys, all the best in all of your bets. Again, thank you so much for joining me here on Pocket with Joe on SportsGrid TV on X. If you can do me a favor, hit that like button, hit that retweet button, hit subscribe if you're over on YouTube so you get notifications when we go live. But we are live here every day at noon Eastern, you guys. You make this show just so fantastic. Love sitting here chatting with you, chatting hockey every day. So make sure you always drop those comments. I try to get to everyone's messages and address those comments on the daily. I will put that recap up. Can't even remember when we started that recap, you guys. I think 34-minute mark. I'll double check that, post that for anyone who is just tuning in late here. You guys, all the best in all of your bets.